tracing the evidence for biblical authority. Evidence for authority. We need that today.
Very well done, very thorough.
Really enjoyed it. It was very informative. I am a youth minister in upstate New York, and I deal with a lot of the questions with my students that this tackled. Questions like, can I trust the Bible? How are the books of the Bible chosen?
I don't even have words for half of it right now, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm going to chew on it. I've already bought my own copy. I'm going to be watching it a couple more times just to make sure I can get it all, because there's so much there. There's so much to get from it.
I was actually in tears several times. I just felt like it just answered the questions that we've had in our heart recently, kind of struggling in between churches, not hearing the truth.
Of course, all the speakers that were in there was just fantastic.
And it helps with apologetics, it helps with discipling, it helps to attract skeptics so that they can begin their search for truth.
Churches really need to see this, really need to understand what the Bible actually is.
This truth might be missing in the church now, that even men going into seminary are not getting it and not having it to give. And we kind of were thinking that was what was happening. It just had to be, because it's just gone. And so to know that someone else heard that and is answering it in this film, it just was,
very encouraging.
Very encouraging.
What we believe about the Bible is based on what we believe about its source.
We have essentially a dual authorship. So it's true to say that Paul wrote Romans. It's equally true to say that God wrote Romans.
The Bible subjects itself to historical verification. It puts itself at risk of inquiry.
He says, we saw this. We didn't make up a story to make you feel better. We're not just giving you, the spirit of Christmas or the inspiration of Easter. And that sets the Bible apart from almost everything else in the ancient world and its religious pantheon of gods and goddesses.
The textual richness of what is found in the New Testament is really very remarkable. It's utterly unique from documentation from the ancient world.
We don't go to the Bible wanting to judge the scriptures. We go to the Bible with a sense of submission, wanting to hear what the living God has to say to us, and that's crucial.
Nobody ever encounters God and says, that was boring and irrelevant. Well, when people say that about the Bible, it just says to me they've not encountered the God of the Bible.
Let's be clear. If crucifixion was the end of Jesus' story, there is really no good historical explanation for why we have the Gospels or the rest of the New Testament at all. There had to be a reversal.
Do you think if Jesus really rose from the dead, that would have had an impact on the people that saw him after he had resurrected? Yeah, they would have remembered that till their grave.
The Church of Jesus Christ always faces a tremendous temptation, and that is to deviate from the Word of God.
In many quarters, the church has denied, questioned the faith.
Our faith is rooted in history, and consequently we need to use the evidence and never be afraid of it.